Hello.
Hey, it is Friday. Of course, it is 4:02. Of course, it is. Welcome to Spiritline with the two Revs, myself, Rev Nick, and of course the wonderful Rev Tony. How the darling are you?
I'm very well, dear. Yes.
Good.
It's been one of those weeks where it's been a bit chaotic but fulfilling at the same time. It's been really good.
Good. And of course, everyone is arriving to say
Yeah.
hello. Even Mother, look, she's learned to Purple Heart. Look at that,
Oh, Purple
Mother.
Heart.
And of course,
God.
we are asking everyone to send Mummy Dearest some healing because of her blinking eye, quite literally blinking. So
One
glad
of
to
those.
see you on here, Mama.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, excellent stuff. Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to be back on with everybody. Trace, Daryl, Shelley, whoever else is watching that hasn't commented yet.
We've got Nicola, of course. We've got some Facebook users, which I know who that is. The FR gives it away. Hello, Cherry. Good afternoon to you. And I'm not sure who that one would be, but
Could
whoever
be
you are.
Miles, I think.
Could be. Yes.
Miles,
Have a
come on.
nosy. Yeah, so if it is Miles, hello. If it's not, say who you are. We'll say hello back. But yes, the FR at the end always gives it away. My lovely Cherry. And yes, she is keeping one eye on us.
Does that mean we can get away with more? We've only got one eye on us.
Well, based on the conversation before the show, fingers crossed.
we need all the help we can get.
Oh yes. And Shelley, my lovely Shelley, joining us, of course. So let's kick off and say hello as people drop in. I know that there is plenty of people ready to start talking about spirit and that philosophy, but we thought we'd lighten the load a little bit this week, have a bit of a giggle, bit of an uplift, but with a spiritual theme. So what is the funniest? Remember, good taste and translation is sometimes required, but it certainly is for the ones we were discussing. What is
definitely
the funniest message you have either given or received when it comes to spirit communication? Because I think it's really important, and I say it every time I stand on the platform, and I know you are identically the same on this view. Humor is a great healer, and spirit love humor.
Yeah, they definitely do. If you walk into a church and you can feel the energy buzzing from the congregation, you know it's going to be a really good night and that the messages are just going to flow. If you walk in and it's like the energy's down in the basement, you've got to lift it so far yourself and then allow spirit to blend with it. It's just really, really hard work. But yeah. Oh, Chrissy's on a train to London.
You made it. Hello. Chrissy did say she wasn't sure whether she would be saying hello today. On the way for a bit of travelling to listen to some good music. So enjoy that, Chrissy. You deserve it. But of course, you're with us for the duration, so long as there's no tunnels.
Yeah.
So that is the theme. Funny messages. Which giggles have you had? Me and your dad in the Bluebell Woods. Yes, there. You'll have to explain that one for us, Mother. So yeah, we are allowed humour.
We are.
I know there's often a view that we should be deadly serious and that we should, take our roles very responsibly rather, and we do. But humour is a medicine all of its own. And just because you've passed to the spirit realms doesn't make you suddenly all sensible and serious. I know some right nut jobs up there, some of which work in my group. So
I've got two.
yeah, exactly. So humor is really, really important. I think it's really understated as part of the way our philosophy sits. I mean, I have been places where I have been deadly serious, and I've been a mixture of both sometimes. You have to be sensible. You do have to be sensible at times, and you do have to exercise a certain amount of um, commitment to the moment. So if there is something deeply, deeply emotional come through, you have to take it responsibly. But for the rest
Mm,
of the time, just have a blooming giggle. Come on. Um,
exactly.
where did
Exactly.
I? Yes, Chris, as Chrissy said, humor, music, and positivity is great, and it is completely. So your thoughts and experiences, Reverend.
Well, I've had a few times when I've thought I'm going to be chucked out of here for this message, but yeah, luckily the group I work with seem to know which churches I can get away with a little bit of naughtiness on and which ones not. Um, I I was talking to Nick just before, which is why we came up with this topic about a message I gave to a lady from her brother, and he said, "You've completed the triangle," and I was like, "What does that mean?" I mean, I know it's not supposed to mean to me; it's supposed to mean something to the person receiving the message. And the girl's face, God love her, it dropped, and she's like, "Oh no, he hasn't seen that, has he?" And he has. She had both of her nipples pierced, and then she'd had a final piercing which connected the triangle, and yes, that was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And then a great friend of mine, she takes a tour of people's houses when she's given messages, and she got shown around this lady's bedroom, and he said, "And now I'm going to show you the toy box." And her face, I mean, we both know this lady really, really well. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, he's seen what's under your bed, dear." And that's where they left it.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? That was definitely enough. Definitely
But
enough. But
she
sometimes it is
definitely,
enough.
but she said that's just what he would have done if he was here. And we had a friend, and he was showing somebody around the house. He would have pulled the drawer out at the bottom of the bed and gone, "Oh dear," and pushed it back.
Yes.
So she said
Yeah.
that actually was evidence in itself.
Yes,
But
absolutely. And hello to Joanne. Hey, you darling. Um, Found that one good. I'm sure you've had a few dodgy ones. Although I'm not entirely sure that this is 100% true, Chrissy. I think they'd have a job, but I still think it's possible.
yeah, I think so. I think so. I think I don't embarrass easily. Lots of people
No.
try, and it really doesn't work. But I I'd get embarrassed more about um, serious matters that people were trying to get me to talk about rather than stuff like that. Because if it's humor, if it's fun, then there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just, it is what it is, and let's go for it and let's have a giggle.
Absolutely. And I mean, the more you get to know people, the more you open up, even in a spiritual circle. I mean, the
Absolutely.
guys that I've got on the online circles, we're now at that stage where we're starting to share stories and thoughts and being a little bit more ourselves. And I think humor is a really good trigger for that. I think it wasn't naughty saucy, but it was naughty funny. The most embarrassed I've ever been giving a message. I was absolutely adamant about the information that I was giving, and I was absolutely stubborn about it. I stood in a village hall somewhere, and I gave this young lad a message from a friend of his. They were both young lads, you know, the young lad in the congregation getting a message from his mate. And I stood there and I said, yes, Shelley. Oh, yes. I stood there and I said, there is he's telling me that you two used to enjoy gardening. There's something to do with gardening together. And he's like, oh, no, absolutely not. I said, no, I'm adamant about this. I'm sure I can see something about you two growing tomato plants. And I was like, he was like, no. I said, look, there are these leaves like this all growing on these plants, and I can see you with loads of them. And his face just dropped. And he went, I will take it, but it wasn't tomato plants. I was still sweet and innocent. He had to come up after the service and explain to me I was actually looking at cannabis. I had no idea because, you know, I'm a good boy. You know, a naughty moment that showed that I was a little bit naive about the humour of spirit. Carry on at the altar. I love that. Tony, no, put it away.
Oh, Bishop.
Oh, brilliant. I like that. I do like that. And Daryl agrees. Daryl agrees. Good one. And Michelle, I totally agree. Loves the nails. Love the nails.
Oh, thank you.
They are as much a feature of this Friday show as the philosophy is, to be fair, you know.
Well,
you know, and I think that's good. I really do.
Yes.
But yes, I think that there wouldn't it be great if there was a Carry On film about spiritualism? Wouldn't that be stunning? You could have Charlie Hawtrey sitting there with the turban on, summoning the whisper down from the big light. You know, like the Toffee Crisp advert. You know, let's see. Sid James could be the platform medium. Hattie Jakes could be the church president.
I was just going to say Hattie Jakes could be the president because, I mean, I could just see her doing it. And how many presidents have you met that were Hattie Jakes?
Absolutely. It's that warm, motherly, but naughtiness. Oh, good Lord. Carry On, psychics. Yeah. This has got to happen. Miles, hello. Well, welcome to the Fun Factory. We're having an uplifting afternoon. This has really taken a different turn to what I expected it to be, fair, but why not? Carry On, psychics.
Yes.
You know. But yeah, Hattie Jakes, the church president.
Yeah. Oh, where would we put Babs?
She'd have to do the healing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She'd have to be the healer.
She'd make you feel better.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord. That would have been great.
17th of March, can I do pink nails just for my birthday? I'll put it in the diary and I'll make it happen.
There you go. There we go. Wonderful. Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. Mild hysteria. Babs the healer. Right.
Now, if you watch the biopic they did of Ken Williams,
yes,
Charles Hawtrey was a very naughty boy.
He was a very naughty boy, but he could also be, you know, if you look at this, really is taking a different turn.
Oh, Eunice, I'm so sorry.
I'm sure Eunice has mentioned what what we're like, to be fair. But hello, daughter Sam.
Hello,
Heard so
Sam.
much about you, and good to see you. Welcome to the look Facebook user. I need to know who you are. I can see a Christmas panto coming off. Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I do take the Charlie Hawtrey comment as a compliment, because he was, and I think all of the funny ones were the most complex, the ones that really were the comedic slapstick ones. They were the complex ones with so much going on behind the scenes,
Yes.
and how they managed to keep that humor. Ha ha ha! Yes, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a Christmas panto. We've got what, 7 months to organise it and then rehearse it. Get a few
Yeah.
people on, take part, do
Yeah.
carry on the carry on psychic Christmas special panto.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really taking a
It's
um.
true. It's going to be. It's going places I never expected this to go today.
I know, and it could have gone some very strange places. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, for instance, up to Skegness.
Oh, hello,
Hello,
Claire.
Claire. We, to be fair, Claire, your demonstration that we had on Tuesday was the inspiration for the topic. The funniest message you've ever had. And it suddenly turned into Carry On Psychics, and a Christmas panto. Which, but
As
you
a
know what?
fundraiser,
What,
marvelous.
as a fundraiser? Why not? If we
Exactly.
cannot laugh at ourselves, if we cannot have that sense of humor about it, what is the point?
Exactly. And I think that's the crux of it, isn't it? If you can't laugh at yourself and laugh, uh, yeah. Sometimes you have to laugh in the face of adversity.
Yeah, you have. And see, and once again, that connectivity, that joinedness of how the conversation is going with everyone. I can't. You've got your phone in front of you. I use mine as a camera, so I'm stuffed really. But everyone's letting us know who Facebook user is, and then when my lovely Cherry uses her flag, we get an FR because my computer doesn't like it. It's not that clever, you see. So I know it's you. But yeah, I think we've got to do this. We've got to make it happen for the people. The people have asked. The
and
congregation
and
has
so
asked.
and so it shall be.
So I've now got to download and get the ability to tweak so that we don't break copyright of the Carry On theme tune.
Richard from SPTV, the narrator.
Wow, yes, he would love that. He would. I will have words. Not this Monday because they're all off on a jolly without me.
Oh,
Yeah, they're all at Spirit Seekers, which is a wonderful, wonderful event.
I always find it hilarious when you give someone something they would rather not have. The other,
Yes.
when I do get embarrassed a little bit is when you describe and you give evidence of the person you've got communicating with you, and you see the face drop, and it's like, oh, what do they want? Like, well, I don't know. Let's ask them, shall we? That's when I get a little bit, what's going to happen? But yeah,
Yeah.
That's when I get a little bit.
Absolutely. I'll be Widow Spanky. A Twanky, I should say.
Leave it as it was.
Yeah. I'll be Widow Spanky, the wizen old medium sitting in the corner.
So this isn't how it was done in my day.
Yeah. And apparently Jen, who's another of my circle members, is good with panto as well. So we'll have words with her. Tony, another Tony, who I keep going to call Reverend Tony on a Thursday night. That really winds him up, actually, which, bless him, is funny. Our healing leader, Tony is up for it. So I think this is going to happen. Do you know? I really do like the idea. Joe, you're still on, I'm sure. He would make a great narrator. Do you not think? I knew it was going to come up. I'm gonna share this one to work it in. I'd like to say thank you, but it was Spirit, absolutely nothing to do with me. This is the reason why the topic of conversation. There was a conversation between myself and Spirit, translated to a congregation member, regarding a fairy on a Christmas tree, and that word came up. Not by me. Well, it was, but not for that reason. It was an address I gave. Turned out to be right, Bushel Lane. But yeah, it can be very, very saucy sometimes when the right person comes through. And you know what? I do think the right person. You know,
Absolutely.
life is so miserable sometimes. We need that upliftment in this. And I think when we talk about philosophy, you know, as I said last night, it can be very easy to go down the line of, you know, uplifting words, rally cries, gentleness, and all of those are important, but sometimes we do
Absolutely.
forget the humor and the laughs. And you know, just the mention of Carry On and a panto, and suddenly everyone's got plans. You know,
Yeah.
it says it all. And it does lead me to a very serious point that I would love your thoughts and everyone's thoughts at home on as well, actually. If we were to do something like a Carry On panto for Christmas, where we are recognizing and sending up some of the more saucy ideas and the more naughty and, yeah, sometimes trivialized parts of our way of life, would it not show that we have a sense of humor and that we know some of the problems that we have in a way of life, or would that be used against us? I personally think it shows that we know and have got a sense of humor, but what does everybody else think in seriousness? Just whilst we consider, where was it? Where we consider this sudden thought of Shelley in a white leotard playing the fairy.
Okay.
It
Okay.
just caught my eye.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I agree, Nick. I think it would show that we have a sense of humour. And I think it would also show how much as a religion we've grown, that we can look back at things that happened in the past and those characters from, you know, another time where it was, that's not how it was done in my day. We all stand for the medium and we all, you know,
Yeah.
we can have a laugh about it and say that was right for that moment, but now this is where we are and this is how it's done, and it develops. And
Yeah.
yes, there are churches where you go and, like you said earlier, it is a bit serious and it is a bit highbrow, if you like.
Yeah.
But you adapt, and as a medium, you feel the energy and you know the energy and you know what you can do and what you can't do. I know when we go to Little Port to demonstrate mediumship, I usually end up wearing a tutu and doing a dance up and down to the Bully theme tune. It's gonna
Yes.
happen.
Is it absolutely? And you know, this is actually a really important point. There are some churches where we wouldn't be, yeah, even believed to be doing that, let alone allowed. You know, dancing to the Bully theme tune for the raffle, but it brings people engagement. It brings people laughter, and I thank you, Cherry. Yes. Spiritualist and the church have humor. It brings people together. It welcomes the newcomers in. Yeah. And we know Spirit have a sense of humor, especially when your grandma comes through and tells you that you've been talking to yourself. Now I go around telling them I'm talking to them now. Yeah. And, you know, I
I'm
Metronome. no.
Oh dear. Oh,
Oh,
I don't know.
oh, absolutely. Do you know? But
Oh,
it really, really is. It might sound like we're mucking about and joking, but it really is a serious point. Um,
yeah, it
Sometimes
is.
we can take ourselves far too seriously. You know, I'm really, really quite gobsmacked, and I think it's brilliant, and we must do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And it comes from the strangest places. The best ideas come from the strangest places.
Yeah,
Like I said to Nick, don't you think churches are missing philosophy a lot? And you know, and
yeah,
here we are, weeks later, we're still doing the Friday chats that we thought we
yeah,
were going to be doing once a month, once a
yeah.
fortnight.
Gonna say we'd
Um,
be on like our second one if we were still doing the once a month, but we're not. You know,
yeah,
we've been we're like 5, 6, or 7 now. I've
yeah,
lost
yeah.
count. That's how long it's been going. It's brilliant.
And
And this
then
was everyone's drive and direction for it to happen was
absolutely,
everyone in the comments coming up and chipping in and taking part and
absolutely,
making it worthwhile. Hattie, um, Reverend Hattie, I like that.
yeah.
Carry on. Let's get spiritual. I like that. Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Nick,
Yes.
you know the other idea we had about the podcast. What a title
Yes.
for a podcast.
Absolutely. Carry on. Let's get spiritual. Do you know what, Chrissy? Thank you. You know, everyone at home's doing our job for us. I think it's brilliant.
We haven't explained to people about that
So
yet.
no, go
Sorry,
ahead and
cat out of the bag.
I won't give away things that I'm not supposed to yet. As
And
always.
that's not what I've heard.
Uh,
Sorry, you're
only
naughty.
only
No,
only after dinner and many, many cocktails, darling.
yes, yes. No, I had a meeting with a local internet radio station, and they were looking for ideas for podcasts and things to build content and to start to drive audiences. And I said, I know a chap who would be interested in doing something like that.
Yeah.
Reached out to Nick, and we've thought, yeah, that's a good idea. So
Yeah, and
we are
and
thinking of doing a podcast. So any ideas for topics, etc., chuck them in the comments or on our Spiritline page. Continue the debate, and we shall continue the debate.
absolutely,
I,
yes. And
I just spotted Chrissy were being very naughty today.
yes, you know what? The world needs a bit of laughter. That is the
It
philosophy.
it is actually, and in all seriousness, I've looked at the BBC's news page a couple of times, and it's just been so appalling the stuff that's going on. We need to uplift. We do need to uplift.
Laurie,
Oh,
my darling. Hello, Laurie. Yes, podcasts have a great reach. They really, really do. And you know, you can get them uploaded on all, you know, wonderful
mm,
places now as well, which is really, really brilliant. Um Laurie, I think you would be great in our Christmas panto. Carry on. Let's get spiritual. I think that we could have a good laugh. So, you know,
mm,
your people get in touch with our people. You know, we could have a giggle as well.
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. You've seen Shelley Stewart imagining the panto horse.
yes, yes.
Mm, mm, mm.
Well, you know, this is the thing. We are spiritualists, so surely we could get some physical mediums in to create etheric rods for the legs.
Laurie wants to be the other sister.
Right, so we've
I'm Reverend Hattie Jakes,
Reverend Hattie Jakes, the
church
healings
president.
leader, the church president, Reverend Hattie Jakes. I am Widow Spanky, the wizen old medium sitting in the corner, and now we have our ugly sister too. It's where has this all come from? Of course, we know. We
Yeah,
needed some giggling, and and you're right. The news has been an absolutely mental,
yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
seems like an onslaught of misery. Oh, Michelle can supply a real horse. Um,
Oh, fabulous.
no, I'm putting a line on that, because if I'm being cast by everyone as Charlie Hawtrey, it'll be me that gets kicked off the stage by a real horse. So,
Yes.
but go on.
Shelley
What were
wants to
you?
be the princess.
Shelley, you are a princess. You can be the princess.
And you shall go
Chrissy,
to the ball.
you shall go to the ball. Yes, 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 yes. I might lose signal in a minute. Nearly at London. Have a lovely weekend. Didn't come back and get writing that script so you can make loads of money for charity. Yes, I think that's brilliant. And have a wonderful weekend.
Mm.
Laurie's going to bring a bucket and shovel.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
Michelle's volunteered to be the wicked stepmother.
yeah.
This is
It's
brilliant.
got legs. It's got
Brilliant.
legs. It really has.
Well, yeah, that's what I was worried about, getting kicked by him.
Yeah,
But we were saying, the news can be so. Does it not seem like I used to love the end of the 10 o'clock news with Sir Trevor McDonald, and
oh,
finally the
yeah.
uplifting bit at the end. We don't seem to get that anymore.
No, no. It's
And
just misery, misery with misery.
so if we can bring a bit of a giggle and uplift and laughter to the world, then that's what we need to do, because, as we said right at the beginning, it's the best healer. Laughter is a great, great healer, even when
Yeah,
things seem really, really bad. If you can get a rise out of something, if you can get a laugh, then you're halfway through the moment.
yeah.
Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, but yeah, we, we need to see where this goes.
yes, yes, absolutely. But this, I mean, Claire's comment, sums it up. And I'm
Yeah,
not saying it because I was the medium. Yes, we had a laugh, but it was everyone who enjoyed themselves.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the reason we do what we do, with a bit of humour,
Oh
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we want. Oh no,
Oh,
it
yeah,
started already. Laurie, I love you. Um, yeah, Hannah would be a great fairy. She's got all the dresses.
yeah, yeah.
She could sing Let It Go for us. Although, being a Carry On film / panto, I'm worried what the letting it go might mean. Um,
Letting yes of what?
has right. I am aware that there are certain things that happen in seance rooms and spiritualism where there are bumps and noises and everything. Has in circle? I remember once, and this was very, very naughty of me. I shouldn't. Somebody did let it go,
Mm.
and they blamed it on a psychic breeze.
Fab,
You
fab.
know, but it just shows that we can laugh about the things that
Yeah,
we come
of
out with.
course.
So yeah, I just I love that everyone's getting really on with this, because it just shows that we all have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, of
Laughter, laughter.
course. Psychic circles can be very. Oh, physical circles can be very noisome.
I love that word, noisome.
Yes.
But yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right, Laurie. They can be
Oh,
extremely noisome. Right, and this is where we do what we need to do. On
yes.
a serious
Yes.
note, can we lift up my friend Susie, who is currently making her transition from the earth plane? She has pancreatic cancer and is very close to passing over. She would love this discussion. Well, let me tell you something, Michelle. Once we finish, we push a button and it becomes permanent on the internet forever. And it is available on Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, I don't. I'm because of the comment. I don't know exactly what frame of mind she is in. But even if she is not in a position where she is able to respond to you, her ears will still be open. So you know what? Let Widow Spanky and myself, play in her ear hole, you
Yeah.
know. And of course, we send love and healing to her,
Yeah.
to you, and all of her friends and family. And yeah, play it in her ear.
Yeah.
Play it for her.
Let her have a
See if you
giggle.
get a see if you get a grin. See if you get a grin. And we were talking interesting, and the irony is, we were talking about the funny, the naughty, the daft messages. And there we go. Must be psychic.
Yeah.
Sadly, she wouldn't be able to watch, but she will hear it. Play it to her. Because you
Yeah.
never know, in years to come, you might get a message off the platform from your friend Susie talking about a panto, and you will then know that you were able to help make her laugh inside, which is where it matters.
Mm.
Physically laughing is one thing because it's the infectious side of it, but it's the effect that it has on the inside that matters the most. That
Yeah.
that lightheartedness, that upliftedness. So get it in her ear. Get it in
Yeah.
her ear. Let her
Absolutely.
listen. Why
Yeah.
absolutely not. Um, Chrissy's
Bye,
off.
Chrissy.
Bye, Chrissy. Love to you all. Take it easy. Enjoy your music. I do envy you, so have a lot of fun. And there you go. Proof of the pudding. Remain so
Yeah.
positive and smiling. Yeah,
Yeah. Brilliant.
absolutely.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. So, everyone, please send healing to Susie for comfort and upliftment.
Yeah.
And Michelle, um,
And a safe journey.
yes, and a safe
We wish
journey.
her a safe journey.
And Michelle,
And
get
bye,
yourself
Claire.
ah, Claire's off as well. Bless you. Be good.
Bye.
Don't do anything I would.
And if you can't be good, be careful.
Uh, and if you can't be careful, take photos. Um, sorry, did I say that out loud? Yeah, Michelle, get the biggest, loudest Bluetooth speaker you can get away with. Um,
And let them have a giggle.
let them have a giggle. Let them have a giggle.
Yeah.
Bring some laughter
Yeah.
to life. So, whew, that was quite
That was a
an
ride.
unexpected direction.
Yeah.
And that is what I love about. Don't you find though that when you plan something, it just goes completely out the window?
Well, didn't we say before we went live that I've been asking for the last few days, give me some inspiration what we're going to be talking about on Friday afternoon. And they just said, we'll see. We'll see. All I ever got back from the team upstairs was, we'll see. We'll see. And I said to Nick, there's something coming from the audience that's going to take us on a journey today. And here we did. Yeah.
Little did we know that journey was
Yeah.
just so wild. But that is
Yeah.
this way of life. That's
Yeah.
as
It does
Michelle
fit
says,
that.
the team upstairs.
It does feel like a team sat on my shoulder,
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that
Yeah.
all the way from France there, a lovely
Yeah.
Cherry, sending love and
Yeah.
healing.
Somebody did say a good topic would be like the final moments and what people have said about the one thing that I always find I get quite a lot is people talking about they felt somebody holding their hand. Now I know that's quite a generic thing, but I think sometimes they just need you to know that I held your hand, and
Yes.
I know you held my hand, and it
Yeah.
helped, and just that last bit. And funny story again. Somebody, a lovely lady came forward, and she was saying, I heard you singing to me, and the daughter was sat in the congregation, and she's like, oh God. I said, yeah, she says she's heard you singing, and she says, I thought she'd already I said, well, she might have, but she heard you singing to her, so she was in the room. And
Yeah.
it was, wish me luck as you wave me goodbye, say cheerio.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
she's like, oh, God. It seemed appropriate, but, wish me luck as you wave me goodbye, and thinking her mum had passed. And she thought it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Absolutely. Yeah, brilliant. And what wonderful. I better just answer this one. Yes. We are not on Monday, my lovely.
Oh,
So there's no Nick and Dawn's Brighten Your Day Monday because they're all at Spirit Seekers over the weekend having a whale of a time. So we're back in. So you've got an extra week to decide, darling. Don't panic. Joanne, yes, the team upstairs have been starting my day with a song in my head, and I end up singing it all day. Do you know what? I have that at churches. If there is a particular song, I'm usually singing it all the way home.
yeah.
Like for instance, when I leave King's Lynn Church, um, there's a song that they have the closing hymn. Go in peace, go in love. And I'm singing that all the way home, which
Yeah.
really, really winds mum up, but it's only a 35-minute drive. However, what came through on Tuesday was, I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information and vegetable, animal, and mineral. I quote the kings of England, and I know the facts historical. From Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. It was a 2-hour drive. Mum went nuts. So
Yeah.
I'm with you, Joe. I really am with you.
Yeah.
So yes, Monday morning, I have the morning
Oh.
off, but I do have the circle in the afternoon, so I will be still
Oh.
working. But yeah, I it is funny how those songs just stick in.
Yeah.
And they do make use of songs. I don't know if anybody's watching who's never heard me say it before. Perhaps Eunice's daughter, if she hasn't walked away in disgust by it already. If you want a reading for yourself, the old fashioned way of getting a reading for yourself was to open up a book with nice words. But now you can just switch on the radio, asking a question and get an answer from it.
Yeah.
You've seen something. What have you seen, love?
I had one earlier. I'm so excited. Da, 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 da. Just can't hide it.
Yes, and they do
It just made
liven
me
you up.
smirk as I saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. And it's true. They do lift. And if music is the food of love, play on and all that stuff. Everybody
Yeah.
recognizes the impact of repetitive noises that are quite lovely and poetic. But the music in itself, without words, can inspire certain feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when there was this TikTok that I saw, and it was just this bloke standing at the bottom of the stairs, looking up at the camera, grinning, and you hear the music going. And
Da, 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 da.
and depending on the speed and pace of the can, my word, can that lift you up?
Yeah.
And all different sorts of songs, they just really, really grab you by the collar and shake you, which is
Yeah.
exactly what Spirit does when we need it most.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've done a couple of music services actually,
Oh,
and they are
wow.
brilliant. Where the medium I was with, she brought in one of these like now CD packs, where there's like
Yes,
four
yes, yes,
CDs
yes.
and you get the member of the pull a raffle ticket. Whoever's got the ticket picks a number between 1 and 4, so that CD goes in, and then a number between 1 and whatever the number of tracks are, and put that track on, play about 30-40 seconds of the song, switch it off, and then make a connection. And you'll be surprised how well that works. That really, really
Brilliant.
works. that really works as a method of getting a hook, getting something a bit different to start a message with. Because I got go on, the one that won the Eurovision Song Contest, a little loving and understanding for our tomorrow. And the reading I got from that was, it was a bit convoluted, but it was around the message of the song, that this lady had so much going on in her life. All she wanted was just a little peace and quiet, and
Yeah.
and she'd actually, and I said something about going away to find peace, and she booked herself a little cruise. So she was just going off by herself to have a little cruise. So yeah, that really works as a method of like hooking music into, because like you say, music is so powerful. It can
Yes.
evoke so much that it does.
Wow.
And I know Mr. Stockwell does that sort of thing as well. He uses
Does he?
CDs as a way of just tuning in and getting something. Works
That
in a
sounds really awesome.
works in a development circle as well, Nick.
Fabulous. Thank you for that. You lot watching know what's coming next, loves. Wow. That they will be quite worried if the Carry On theme starts playing. But,
Yeah.
but no, that sounds a really, really great way of working. I've never seen that done before. We shall have to give it a go, because yeah, it makes absolute sense. I mean, tying everything in a big bow, so to speak, with the humour and the music and everything. I have told a number of people this story before. Next week's theme, then yeah. Well, don't forget. I've got to tie the homework up first. Shelley, I've set them all a storytelling homework this week. So maybe the week after, when I haven't given myself so much to do. But yeah, it's a brilliant idea. But the getting yourself a reading. We had a. I'm going to say I completely got distracted with that. Sherry's up for it. Well done, Sherry. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing that in a week and a half's time. Thank you, Tony. I think that's brilliant. And it is really, really telling, because mum is watching. If she hasn't nodded off, I'm sure she'll tell me off for saying that if she's still awake. To be fair, if she did have a sleep, it'd do her some good. She's been getting up in the night to put her drops in, you see, because she had an ulcer on her eye. So healing for mum, please. She had to have a bit of it scraped off with a blade whilst we were all sitting there in church with our tea and coffee. She made it to the end, though, bless her heart. My sister, who is a nurse, was so squeamish, and mum just sat there and said, well, get on with it then. Stubborn old what's it. She's still awake. There we are. Bless her. Yeah, it was, ouch. I'm very, very squeamish. But mum will remember this, because it's a story that I'd tell and never forget anyway. Our healing leader, our first healing leader, George Leahy, he was another one who I wound up by ordaining him at his funeral, because he never wanted any recognition for what he did. Lovely guy. He bless his heart, he had a really, really random, weird sense of humour, just like the rest of us. Lovely, lovely bloke. And I was asked by his wife to do his funeral. So I hadn't done one for a long time in between. And I was a little bit nervous on the way there. So we had the cremation over at Kings Lynn, driving along. Dad was driving. Happy birthday, Dad. It's Dad's birthday today as Francis. Well. So, I said, Dad, put a radio on. I'll ask for a message from George today about how it's going to go. I kid you not, the song that we got. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down and the flames went higher. It burns, the ring of fire. The ring of fire. And that was playing. But the worst of it was playing as we were turning into the crematorium.
Ooh.
And that was George's sense of humour, to be fair. George, funny guy.
I can imagine.
He really, really looked like this kind of bloke that you wouldn't cross. You're a very serious, old-fashioned. No, he was a nut job like the rest of us, and he still is, because he quite often comes through and gets me, catches me out when I least expect it. Great guy, and I know that he would be very impressed with our new healing leader, Tony Spinks, who I still go to call Reverend Tony, because of course you're always on my mind. Oh, here we go. I'm doing a Miranda now. Every time a song gets in my head, I've got to sing it, and I won't be able to stop. But yeah, music is amazing, and it can give you some really, really funny as well as poetic and emotional messages.
Yeah. Well, Michael's parents used to live down on the Broads, Catfield near Potter Heigham. And of course, sadly, Michael's father passed, and we'd gone down to talk about the funeral. And so from here to there, it's about 4 hours on the long, windy is it A17 and that way out. And Mick wanted a cardboard coffin, and he wanted to go into the crematorium to Paradise by the Dashboard Light. The full version with all of the noises. And then when the curtains were closing, he wanted to bat out of hell. So, and of course, there was a bit, hoo-ha like it is, and people never agree about a funeral. And on the way back, I put my phone on and music started, and I pressed random. And about an hour into the drive, About Out of Hell came on. And it repeated constantly for about 6 or 7 playthroughs of the full 15 minutes and 20 odd seconds, until we just shouted, "Mick, enough. We get the message. Leave it." But we couldn't switch the phone off. I couldn't turn the stereo off.
Oh, no.
I couldn't make it stop at all. And so, yeah, it does. It's a way of them getting, Oh, great. I love that, Lawrence. I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and it's funny, we was talking about his dad's birthday. Dad had a song at his funeral.
I've just seen
Mr.
it.
Blue Sky, and that is my sister. For those that don't know, she changed colour when she got married rather than surname. She went from brown to green. We used to live next door to the Greys as well. That was a hell of a mess when they used to babysit before they got married. But yeah, Dad's song came on this morning as well, so I know it's always about when that comes on. Music is really, really underrated. So to hear you, and there's that one. There's that one again. I love it. Another one. I think it's she's off now.
Bye.
Stopped in to say hello. Her ears must have been burning that we were talking about her. See you later, sis. But yeah, it's just amazing how good music can be too.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And I do that a lot. I just press random on my Amazon Music thing, and whatever comes up, you think, oh yeah, I was thinking about that, or oh yeah, I was doing that, and it's really good. And it can change. I mean, people always say to me, "What's your favorite song?" And it's well, it depends what mood I'm in.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm the same. I've got a very eclectic sense of taste when it comes to music I like. When I'm driving, I like to listen to soundtracks. So there has been occasions, and everyone who knows I'm a sci-fi fan will just think that I'm making this as an excuse. But there have been times that I have been bombing down the motorway, underneath the speed limit, of course, but bombing down the motorway, wind in my hair, with the windows down. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. The Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5s, all blaring its guts out. I went through a phase of listening to the the updated version of the theme tune for Elite Frontier, the computer game.
All
Somebody
right.
made a lovely cinematic orchestral version of that, because obviously it used to be MIDI files. But yeah, music really is great. And you know what? I'm with you. I often get music names when I'm giving messages to a recipient. Yes, I
Mm,
will get a line or a name and just say, go and listen to the lyrics. Go and listen. There's a message for you there.
yeah.
I think I did that about a week ago.
Well, can I just say we often have to go through all of the Doctor Who theme tunes if Michael's
Yes.
in one of those moods and he's got the phone in his hand. And it's like, oh, really? I do like 10s and I like 11s as well.
Yes.
11s
Yes.
with
Yeah.
the male chorus underneath it.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
gives me the tingles
It does.
of the back of the
Yes.
neck.
Yes. Definitely. Right. We're going to do an experiment to help Joanne out.
Oh,
Everyone, send out your healing energy to her phone to get the charge up. Everyone, touch your camera or your phone and send healing energy to Joanne's phone so that she doesn't lose us. There you go.
carry on laughing.
Carry on laughing. Yeah. Carry on laughing. Yeah.
I yeah, I feel the pain.
Yeah.
I feel the pain. And I do, Lawrence. I do
Yeah.
like to I put a quiet, mellow
Yes.
mix on when I'm driving to a church.
Yeah.
Because I find it helps just set the tone.
And do you know what I listen to before a demo? If I get the opportunity, it will be at some point during the day because of the driving and everything. But I'll just listen to the sound of rain and thunder.
Mm.
In actual fact, quite often I'll lay there drifting off to sleep to the sound of rain and thunder.
Mm. If that doesn't work, Joanne, plug it in. Shelley.
She has, but she was worried that it was too low to recover in time, so we're keeping her fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I think music is really effective at not only emphasis. See, this is the thing. When we're depressed, we listen to depressed music. We should be listening to the jolly stuff that makes
Yes,
us
the
giggle.
uplifting. Yeah.
You know, I don't get me wrong. As a misspent youth teenager, I would sit there with my huge. Do you remember the? I mean, the smallest earphones, huge fluffy bits that would fall apart after about a week. You know, and sit there,
Yeah.
and the thin metal that would bend after about 2 uses, and you know.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to listen to the same song, it wouldn't be click and play again. It'd be, and the music fades out, and then play again. You know, so I used to listen to November Rain by Guns N' Roses because I was a
Yeah.
huge Guns N' Roses fan.
Oh.
So November Rain was a big one for me when I was but a teen. But yeah, I've just realised that, you know, if people were just tuning in somewhat out of context, there you go. I knew something was coming there, Shelley.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know, and I've got some somewhere, but they're all Bluetoothy stuff now, and I've got these really nice ones that's on a headband that you can
Oh
sleep
yeah.
in. They're really cool, but they still fall off. Apparently, I move too much in my sleep. I'm very restless. I am very.
Mm.
Mum would tell you that when I was a child, I would fall out of bed an awful lot, and she would quite often find me with my head dangling over the top of the stairs. I'd literally
Oh.
fall out of bed and creep downstairs. So, oh, hello.
Changing my sheets, turning and turning the mattress. I put on Tina Turner.
Hey,
I love a bit of Tina.
can't beat a bit of Tina. I don't think anything beats my own Big Spender. I do a great Shirley Bassey. Perhaps that could be my number in the panto.
Yes, a bit of
A
Burley
miniature what?
Chassis.
You know, if I'm playing some, wizen old dame medium, it'd be, the minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, and I could also see that you've spent the last week on a
Oh yeah.
like,
Proud Mary.
Proud Mary, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I spent my misspent youth listening to miserable music when I was miserable. I should have put something funny on,
Yes.
but you don't always think about that. So,
No.
just a thought. Next time you're feeling mardy and miserable, stick something funny on. Or ask Spirit for a song that might, help lift your mood rather than
Absolutely.
reflect it.
Absolutely. What hilarious Facebook user.
Ah.
Yes, we have been a bit,
light-hearted.
Flippant and light-hearted today. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But I think if it could be very easy, especially doing this now week in, week out, if there is something that really, because you know what I'm like when I get on my soapbox, you have to, takes about half a dozen coconuts and a huge net to get me to shut up. I think it could easily become an angry rant show rather than, the discussion of spirituality. And,
And today's all been about, you can be spiritual, you can have faith, but you can also have a damn good laugh.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
nothing wrong with a big belly laugh.
And you know what? When it comes to, I wondered where that would come in. Thank you, of course. Even the big names of spiritualism had their own sense of humour. Thank you. Good to
pop your name in. Pop your name
in. Let us know
who
who you
we're
are.
talking to.
As you are new, if you do not know, we have a group page for this show as well. It's called Spiritline, the two Revs continue the debate. You can find it at facebook.com/groups/2 Revs. Maria, hello. Yeah, it doesn't show us how, but there is instructions on how to get it so that we can see your name in future. But don't worry about it. We know who you are now. But yeah, even the old, big names of spiritualism had a sense of humor. Here comes another song. There you go. Doesn't matter what we talk about. We are family. I have all my sisters with me. You certainly do, doll. I'm reminded, of course, talking about big name mediums, having a sense of humor, especially on subjects that really, especially decades ago, when this would have, probably been about 30 years ago now. Scary. There was a recording of Gordon Higginson doing, talking about some very highbrow spirit stuff. And the way he put it just really lightened the mode and the moment. He was talking about forgiveness. Just wondered if my name was showing up on the comments. No, Jen, it's not. But thank you for bracketing. I know it's you as well. Bless your heart. I tell you what, once we've sorted the others out with their bits and pieces on the cameras, I'll show you how to put your name on there as well. It's easy. Before I go on the Gordon bit, I remember when I was working as a carer on my rounds, when I felt tired, I used to pray for a joker in the spirit world to give me jokes to keep my energy. And I used to find I had jokes coming through that I didn't know I knew. Spirit are brilliant. Yes, absolutely. Quite right too. Laurie, two tutors at the college would do rude drawings on each other's slides the days of the overhead projectors. Brilliant. Now, it's a little bit naughty. It's not naughty, but it is quite funny, really, when you consider the subject. Gordon Higginson did this recording about sitting in the power, and was talking about some really high, and one of the subject of forgiveness came up, and he sits there and well, I assume he was sitting, because it was a recording, no physical images or nothing, and the words came, of course, forgiveness is really, really important. For example, 2,000 years ago, Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him. Jesus knew that he was going to be given away by a kiss on the cheek. He could have sat there and said, "Oh, don't kiss me," but he said, "No, come here, kiss me." Just to hear them, "Oh, no, don't kiss." Gordon Higginson pretending to be Jesus, saying, "No, don't kiss me," is about as Carry On Stansted Hall as you can get. And the way he said it was just so, and he had them rolling in the aisles with that. And it was a really, really highbrow subject. If you can get people laughing about that, you can get people laughing about anything. And and forever I will always hear in my head the words, "Oh no, don't kiss me." "Oh no, don't kiss me." But it was just brilliant. The old ones are the best.
They are.
The ones who paved the way for us, paved the way with humour. In spite of it all, and we forget about that.
Yeah,
we really do forget about that. We remember the writings, we remember the demos, we remember the big bold addresses and the speeches and the statements and the bits written down in books, but we don't record and remember the humour.
Yeah,
we need to.
We do, and we also need to get a script written.
Yes, we do. So, I nominate all of you watching. Thank you, Gordon. Has a wonderful sense of humour. I don't put them in the pot. No, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And Gordon is always very present in this way of life.
Definitely.
Or as he would probably refer to it now, as sticking his oar in. Frequently and often. And quite right too. The lovely Mr. Bannister. How are you doing, sir? Welcome. We are talking humour, we're talking music, and we're also talking everyone present has got to help write a script for our Christmas panto, Carry On. Carry On Psychics.
Yes.
Oh, no, put it away. Bless you,
absolutely. And any ideas for topics for podcasts? Any questions about this way of life?
Yes. I'm going to say we as Tony mentioned, we are talking about doing a podcast. So if anyone has questions, the idea we would. Oh, why did nobody think of that sooner? Laurie, you win the internet today. The internet today. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Why did we not think of that one?
Somebody,
Cherry, take a note of that one. It's got to be a running theme. But the humour of spiritualism aside, what were we talking about? Yes, the podcast.
Yes, podcasts.
Lost it. Out there for a minute. So yeah, we were talking about having alternating questions to jump between each other and answering them. So make use of the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/groups/2Revs to ask questions that we can ask each other in the podcast and debate and discuss.
Yes.
We'll do a pilot over the next couple of weeks.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, there we go.
Get it done.
It's all planned now, Oh yes, it is.
Oh dear me! Heavens to Betsy.
See, Shelley agrees. It must
Here
be
we
psychic.
go.
Must be psychic. She knew I was going to say that.
Yeah. Grief.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Well, I think that everyone
Yes.
has been wonderful. I think everyone
Yes.
has been amazing. Um, Now, thought about asking questions on different subjects. So, say 5 subjects is 5 podcasts. Yeah, so we could make each one a themed
Mm.
podcast. So today we are talking funny events in spiritualism. Today we are talking healing questions. Um, I wondered what that said for a second.
Yeah, I was a bit, what?
Hang on, have to get my eyeballs
Rolled into
through,
fire.
rolled into the fire. Would you like to ever elaborate that, or am I being very dumb?
I didn't get that, no.
I ah you do you have a glass eye, dear, or
I don't,
are they ornamental? I don't. I mean,
I
she
don't know.
sees me. She sees me and runs away. So I'm sure she's got.
My
Oh,
eyes.
they rolled so much they fell out. Oh,
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Oh,
Yeah.
do you know
Gin
what?
o'clock.
It is. It is. And certainly Gordon will make sure that it's gin o'clock at every time of the day now, because he doesn't have
Yes.
to worry about it being before noon, because he can just go somewhere where it's noon. So yes, thank you so
Yes.
much, everyone. Today we are going to be signing off in a moment. Thank you for uplifting my day, certainly, and I'm
Mine.
sure Tony's too, and each one of you. Thank you so much for being here, being part of the conversation. We know it was a little bit different today, but we all felt that we needed a bit of uplift. So, I think that at the very least has served its purpose on a spiritual
Absolutely.
theme. But I am going to go and put some chips in the air fryer and pour another one of them. I will just say, if I can find it, just for those that keep asking for an update, because I know it has become something of a debated topic amongst those that know me. 1 week, 2 days, 6 hours, 19 minutes, and 30 seconds exactly
Wow.
without a cigarette. I am
Well done,
huffing.
you.
I'm huffing and I'm puffing. And I never believed I'd get past 24 hours. So thanks, Spirit, and thank you all for the support. I am doing
Yeah.
a sponsorship thing for it for Addenbrooke's Hospital.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Please. I've
so
shared it. I've shared
thank you,
it.
Tony. Thank you, Tony. So mm, I'm doing it for Lent. I'm doing it for myself. But you know what? We might as well raise a bit of money for charity for it and all. And they are
Absolutely.
an amazing bunch. They looked after Dad. So I always do it for them now. So yes, what are you
This
off to do this weekend, Reverend Tony?
this weekend we have the Rainbow Project on Saturday, 1 till people shut up and go home. We've been there till it's advertised as 1 till 3, but it's always 5, 6 o'clock, 6:30,
Yeah,
you know. And then I think we may pop to the caravan for a few days. So
fabulous.
yeah, recharge the batteries.
Yes. Mhm. Oh,
Yeah.
and then oh
Oh,
oh, it's all right. I
so
can hear you. You're back. You're back.
yes, okay. Yes, so that's us. We're going to chill, relax, and recharge, ready for next week. So, what about you, sir?
Well, Saturday night, so tomorrow night, I am serving Huntington Spiritualist Church. So I'm heading over there to do their Saturday evening demo. So if you're in the Huntingdon area, I have to pronounce it properly because I'm a proper fenny sometimes. I call it Huntington, but it is of course Huntingdon. So I will be serving them on Saturday. Got a little bit of work to do on Sunday, and then I've got Monday morning off.
Yeah,
I've got Monday morning off, but I'll be back doing the circle on Monday afternoon. So
fab.
it's going to be good. Ah, Yes, absolutely, Coral. Um, I know she's gone down. I imagine it's a little bit too early to say has there been any updates. But could everyone please send healing, of course, to the lovely Jerry, who is currently having a bypass.
Oh, bless.
So please do send out your thoughts. If you're still on, Coral, and like I said, I would imagine it's way too early for any updates. But if there is any, please share before we disappear. She's 3 hours in, so yeah, that is a bit early. But
Yeah.
3 hours in is 3 hours out the way, babe. So
Yeah. Yeah.
look after her and look after yourself, and of course, the lovely Jane mum, look after her as well,
Mm.
please. Send your thoughts to all of them. Please,
Any,
please, please.
yeah, anybody
Coral,
who is in need.
yeah,
Anybody who's in
um,
need.
absolutely. And Coral, do me a favour, keep me in the loop, will you, please? Love and thoughts to all those in need.
Yeah. Facebook
Absolutely.
user, we're not at Crufts, but we're hoping once our little one's a bit bigger, we may
Oh,
enter him.
wow. Yes, of course. Of
Yeah.
course. Yes, yes, yes,
Bless
yes,
him.
yes. Oh, and
But,
to you too,
oh,
Coral, and to you too.
yeah. Yeah.
So we are going to, I know you've got places to go and people to be,
Yeah.
and I've got people to be and places
Coffee.
to go.
Okay.
Careful how we phrase that. I used to get that
Please.
completely wrong, but it would have been, in
Mm.
today's theme, I'm sure. But
Very
thank you all
well.
so very much. God bless you all. And so it's good night from him.
And it's good night from him.
God bless you all. Be good. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. Until next week, God bless. And
God
good
bless.
night.